right, you want to kayak either in a single kayak or a tandem being two people in it. We're going to give some paddle instructions on what to do here. Make it very simple. A lot of the paddles have a sticker on the side. They scoop. Imagine you were swimming. You would scoop your hand to pull back the water. Paddle blades have a scoop as well. These have one sticker on the right side. As long as you can read the sticker, it's on the right side. Now this is me paddling. I'm looking at it. My drip rings are outside of my hands, but here's how my grip starts. Hands in the center, hands on my head, 90 degrees out. It means I have to adjust my drip rings a little bit further. All right, that's how far my grip is. All right, got my right side and my left side here. Once we're in the boat, I'm gonna have feet in the foot slots, these foot slots that are right here, and they're gonna give me a little angle, heels in, knees out, like a plie or lotus position. All right, they help me balance because when my knees are bent, it's gonna help me balance in the boat. All right, proper stroke. I'm gonna put the paddle in by my feet, turn my core, I'm gonna paddle to my seat. Feet to seat or heels to hip, whichever you resonate with. Feet to seat or heels to hip. All right, you're just gonna go alternating, left, right, all right? Sometimes when you wanna turn, it's just multiple strokes on one side and you veer. So if you wanna go to the right, I'm only gonna paddle on my left. Imagine taking steps with only your left foot. Would make me go to my right. Same thing with my right. Now if I wanna really turn, I'm gonna do what's called a sweep stroke. I'm gonna reach to the front of the boat, out and away, and that helps push my nose of my boat to the opposite direction. But like a big boat, both boats steer from the rear. So I'm gonna reach behind me and I'm gonna do a reverse sweep or a rear sweep. So I'm gonna start from behind, out and away, and that turns me to whatever side my paddle's on because my butt is going to the opposite. So if we wanna turn our boat around, it ends up being a combination of a front stroke, a front sweep, and a back sweep. A front sweep and a back sweep. Back and forth, back and forth. That helps turn us. Same thing applies with mini boatings. When you approach wakes in a kayak, you want to approach them at a 45 or 90 degree angle, never parallel. But if you are good and balanced and you keep your blades off to the side, you can help balance your boat on any wakes like that. If you happen to be in a tandem boat, you guys have to have the conversation. The heaviest person needs to be in the back. That is mobility friendly. All right, heaviest person in the back works with the hydrodynamics, fluid dynamics of a tandem kayak. Person in the front of the boat, their job is to set pace. They're gonna left, right. The person in the back, they're gonna match the stroke. Same side, same time, like a Viking ship. Once they get the paddle in sync, then they go in one direction. All right. Again, both together, multiple strokes will turn you to the other side. Person in the back, you may have to give a cadence. Left, right. The person in the front can't see you. So there has to be some patience. You have to wait and match their stroke. We don't want to be paddling at the same time on the same side or opposite strokes, because that'll be paddle fiving and you'll get very frustrated. Okay? Now, we call these counseling boats because they require communication. You have to work through some things. They are fun when you work through those things, or someone says, I'm not gonna paddle right now, you got it. So work through it, communicate. This is a great way to explore. You can take breaks, but it is an incredible experience to be out there, and you don't have to worry about falling too much. Typically your staff here at the retreat will get your boat in there, in the water, but for speed's sake, I'm gonna help. I'll slowly put it down here. There we go. And we want to approach the boat low. We don't want to try to step into it and be top heavy and go over. So I'm going to get down to my bum. A couple ways of doing it. I'm going to eventually turn all the way around. So my hands are on this side and I can lower myself to the boat. All right. Then I'm going to scoot back to my seat, and you can see that my feet are in the foot slots. My heels are in, my knees are out. Seat's been adjusted. Now, while you might think that you want to lounge and have it leaning back and reclining, you're gonna feel that later. You want to be fairly upright and perpendicular while you're paddling. This is a core stroke, not so much an arm stroke. You can make it arms, you can paddle through it, but to go for a long time, core is where it's at. Now I'm gonna push off and they're gonna help me. There we go. All right, I'm in my single boat. I'm gonna do front sweeps, turns, showing you that if I only did a front sweep, it's going to take a lot of space to turn. But if I add that rear sweep to it, I'm able to turn very quickly. So then when you combine a front with a back, you get it turned very quickly. When you're paddling, you want to be on the sides of the creek, not the edges. While legally you have the right of way, being a slower craft, boats are going to be in the center going fast. We want you to be safe, and that means being on the sides of the creek, not the edges. When you encounter any wakes, again, 45 degrees or 90 degrees into the wake, we don't want you on the edges so that waves push you up into the marsh grass, as you can see. Those are hard to get out of. If you do get in the edge or you get in a shallow area, do not get out of your boat. This pluff mud is that pocket mud. You get stuck in it. Even if you are wearing shoes like I have, you are not safe in this pluff mud. So don't try to get out. Don't try to walk through it. You're going to be given advice on recommendations to paddle based on the type of paddle that you want. Typically, you want to go against the tide to start and then return with the tide coming in. Now, you might be lucky in going out when the tide's going to change. Let's say the tide changes an hour. So you get to ride the tide out, turn around and come back in. Now, if it's windy, depending on how you want to handle the wind, sometimes it's going sideways from marsh side, the side to the other. You want to be paddling on the side the wind is coming from, which is called the leeward side. The wind has to go up over the grass and kind of takes about 15 so feet before it hits the water. You can actually paddle on a fairly windy day and not even feel it if you're on that side. If you're on the side the wind is going to, you're always going to be fighting the wind and pushing away from the marsh. So we want to be on the side the wind is coming from. If it's a headwind, just bear down and get through it. Turn around, you earned a nice return trip. There is a significant tide change here, anywhere between 6 and 8 feet, depending on the moon phase. Paddleboarding has a fin to help them know it's a little too late when the fin catches. Kayaking though, in shallow waters you might be able to see some of the area, but you also have a paddle to know how deep you're at. And we're fairly deep here. Other spots you're gonna be only a few inches. And sometimes when you check your depth, it's under 2 feet. So knowing if the tide is coming in or going out makes a difference. If the tide's coming in, being in that shallow water is not a problem. You're gonna get more water. If the tide's going out and you keep going into a shallower area, that becomes a problem. You might not be getting out until the tide changes. So hopefully you brought a snack. All right, when you are approaching the dock again, and the staff's here to help, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna do my rear steer to get a little closer sideways. This is called a draw stroke if you want to push sideways, or you can handle that out and they can pull you a little closer. Perfect. All right, now they're gonna hold the boat stabilized. It's now on me to get myself out. Easiest way, get your feet as close as you can. Hand and elbow, lift up. If you need to stay positioned and kneel, you can, or up to your knees and up, or you can be here, back to the bum, and then scoot back. You don't have to worry about sliding in, as these are a sit on top kayak, easily in and out. Have fun.